show, the fast 5 things you need to know. We'll start your day off swirly, it's the toast. I sound amazing.
Welcome back to the toast and happy hump day. Speaking of humping, there's a girl.
There's a girl.
Yeah.
I
I know. And it's Jacqueline Follet. Hello, Miss Follet. How you doing today?
Hey, Turtaloo. We're the ladies in black today.
Yeah, it's a Skims maternity set sleigh for me.
It's a girly t-shirt merch with maybe pants and a cardigan for me.
Slay.
Say the house down boots.
Hey, girly. How you doing? Welcome to the toast.
I'm darn good. Happy to be here at the toast for another lovely Wednesdays, another lovely show with my lovely C-Sturd.
I feel like being lovely.
Okay, let's keep this energy up.
You know, I made a nice coffee this morning without ice.
Oh, that's like so yucky. And it doesn't
I
need
know.
to be.
Why is it so gross?
bad? Why is it so bad?
Everything was from the fridge. Everything is cold.
Yeah.
The drink is still cold. I just don't have ice here at the studio yet. I have to get an ice maker. It's like a whole thing. So I usually bring from home. I forgot my ice. Like, what is it about this coffee that seriously looks like sewage?
No, it's so disgusting. Oftentimes, like if I'm staying at a hotel or something, like if I don't have ice, like I just have to do it like that. And why is it so much grosser?
I don't know, because it's not about temperature. Like, it is the same temperature. But I don't have like the slushy, first of all. You know, I like to swish my ice around.
No, you like to swish.
So it's a oral fixation as well, you know?
It's more than that. Like, it is scientifically grosser.
Why?
I have no idea.
I think because it looks like it's been sitting in the car for 3 days. So you're like thinking you're drinking like old
even
car
if
coffee.
You drank it out of an opaque cup.
Yeah.
It would still taste weird.
Something about the sound of those ice cubes jingling like makes the coffee taste better.
There's something to it.
Well, so I'm suffering. That's all that to say. I am suffering.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I guess we weren't going to keep up our lovely energy for that much longer.
Oh, right,
Before
right.
we launched into the complaints. I actually have a lovely tidbit to share, which is that I made the Crunch Wraps yesterday.
I saw on your Instagram.
I was going to make Crunch Wraps, and I made Crunch Wraps. The best thing I ever ate in my life.
I know.
It's not shocking that I haven't had one before because I've never had Taco Bell, which isn't shocking. Like, if you like, what am I going to eat at Taco Bell? But it's shocking that no one told me like, hey, Jack, like we're having Crunch Wraps. You should make one.
I feel like I did.
No.
I told you about this place I went to in LA.
Okay, that doesn't do anything for me.
And then that's like what inspired my whole journey with Crunch Wraps.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I just feel like you weren't emphatic about it enough. And if
I just feel like you should have copied me. I copy everything you do. Like, there's no shame. Copy me.
I thought it was like a Ben thing, you know?
No, okay, let me tell you.
I didn't know that
you
you were passionate about Crunch Wraps too.
No, it's just a me thing.
He's not passionate about Crunch Wraps?
No, he does it all for me.
Oh.
Yeah. But when we went to LA, everybody was like, try this kosher restaurant. I was like, sure. We Uber Eats did it, ordered a bunch of stuff. It was like a Mexican place. And they said kosher Crunch Wrap Supreme. So I just threw one in as like an alternative entree. You know, I didn't think I was going to like it. I also got like my regular bowl.
Of course.
And oh my God, it was the most fucking amazing thing ever. And I had 2 that trip. And then I went home and I was so upset. I actually messaged them on Instagram and I'm like, please, like, will you ship me one? Like, freeze it. I don't know, like Gold Belly, something. And they were kind of like rude. They were like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, never mind, it's fine. Yeah, I didn't want it anyway.
I wouldn't want that.
I'll just go kill myself. And so then Ben and I went on the journey of like figuring out how to make them on our own. And they are good when Ben makes them, but they're not nearly as good as this kosher place in LA.
Well, I haven't had that. So all I have is like the one that I made last night, which was Parchi Perfection. It was such a nice new thing to add to the menu of my life.
I'm so glad that you liked it. And I'm so glad that you figured out how to make it because I feel like whenever I'm at your house, I have like a very particular...
You have like 2 or 3 things that
you have like a range of things that you can make. And within that range, I have a range of things that I like that you make. I have a menu. Yeah.
And you've got a couple things off the menu that you like, but now you have a new one.
So remind me the next time I'm at your house, which probably won't be for so long.
No. Watch, you'll be here next week. Like something's going to
By the way, Ben wanted to go this weekend.
Classic us.
Just remind me that that's like one of your offerings, please.
Okay. You know what? I need to add it to the recipe book. Crunch Wrap.
Oh, and while you have your pen out, I had a list written on my phone when you couldn't find your pen. Did you ever transcribe it?
Yes, I did.
List of people who the rules need not apply to?
Oh, no.
Karen Huger and Kelly Clarkson?
The one that I transcribed that day was Toast playlist. That was after.
No, when you lost your pen, we started a list on my phone.
Rules don't
list
apply.
of people who the rules don't apply to.
Okay. I need like tabs in this thing.
Yeah, you do, because like it's just like a book of stuff.
Of like just paper. List of people.
By the way, if like the police found that notebook, they would think the person who wrote it like had dementia. Like, it's just so scattered.
I know, but that's what we do. Okay, so Karen Huger, the rules don't apply.
Kelly Clarkson.
I feel like the rules do apply to Kelly. Like, you're a smart
No.
woman. Follow the no. It's not just about like
she
our
follows
faves.
them.
It's not just about our faves. Like, are you capable of following the rules? Then you should. Karen Huger is not capable.
By the way, but that's not what we were talking about when we made the rules. Like, because we were saying how everybody's always like, well, Claudia, you said this.
DUI,
And like always
but like if Kelly got a DUI, I would be mad at her. You should know better. Like that would be unacceptable to me.
It would be acceptable to me.
So it's just about like your faves.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
list of faves.
List of people who my rules don't apply to. No, because it's not faves. Like I had said, I said this when we were talking about this, that if Taylor Swift got DUI, I would be like disappointed.
Yeah. Okay. And you don't feel that way about Kelly?
No, it's not about your faves. It's just about like how the world works. I can't explain it. So
to me, it's about like what you're capable of.
Well, it feels like the list was sort of like my thing, and so it's my interpretation.
How about on the list we have Claudia's submission, Claude's,
okay,
Jack's. Okay, so you want Kelly, even though So this is like people who could get a DUI, and
I would look past it,
and you would defend them.
Yeah, I wouldn't defend them, but I wouldn't like be hard on them. I would just kind of like ask you not to make it a story.
Like Luke Combs, honestly, if Luke Combs got a DUI, I'd bury it.
Bury it. We'd cancel the show. I'd lie and say I was sick. Yeah. I love that.
Okay. We'll keep adding to it.
I had my first less than sublime sleep with my pregnancy pillow last night. It was still like a fine night's sleep, but I'm definitely like looking at the pillow differently now, you know?
It's not solving all your problems like you thought it would.
Even though last night was still like the best night's sleep in the last month, you know, like it still ranks a top 5 night, but in terms of, it was my worst pillow night yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You win some, you lose some.
That's true.
You won't appreciate the great night sleeps without the bad ones.
And speaking of things I lost, it was an hour of my life last night with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, to make me watch an episode that had not one, but two, like Kyle and Mauricio, and then Bose and Keely, like those types of scenes, I max out at one per episode.
What
and
about
we got two
PK and Dorit?
That was actually drama filled.
I know. Are they going to stay together?
She was on Watch What Happens Live last night too, and they asked her that. First of all, they had 3 guests on Watch What Happens Live last night. Did you see that?
No, I didn't, because I went to watch Andrew Schultz's special.
Oh, I would love to hear your thoughts in a minute.
We'll circle back, but continue what you were saying.
So Dorit was the guest, and then they had the winners of Traders, which was 2 people. Or maybe not the winners, but like the people everybody's talking about, Gabby Windy and Zac Efron's brother, Dylan. So it was 3 chairs.
Gabby Windy won.
Dolores won.
I just saw a headline because for some reason I hadn't seen who won. Like it's like Masked Singer. They're really keeping it under wraps. But like I saw a headline today, Gabby Windy won. She hasn't gotten her money yet. Unless she is getting paid for something else.
She said that on Watch What Happens Live that she hadn't gotten her money yet.
I feel like she won. And that would also explain why like she's having like an extra huge moment right now.
I think that there are multiple winners because I know Dolores won.
But then I saw like a TikTok type video of the cast of Traders like participating in a trend. And it said like 2 men won Traders, and Gabby Windy stands up from the table.
Were Dylan Efron, Dolores, Gabby Windy, and Lord Ivar Mountbatten.
Excuse me?
That was the top 4, and then just tell me who fucking won.
Lord Mountbatten was on Traders?
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
No,
I did. He made a lot of news.
I saw him making news the other day. Like I think he was talking about Meghan. But I didn't realize it's because he's like
He was talking about Meghan on Traders.
I didn't realize it's because he's the like cause du jour of the moment.
So Dolores won, Gabby won. Why are they making it so hard?
He was responding to the Sussex last name thing, and they got his take.
Right.
Wait, I'm not okay that he's on Traders. What?
Okay, yeah, there were 4 winners.
Okay, well, that seems
Dylan
misery.
Efron, Dolores Mountbatten, and Gabby Windy, and they will share the $200,000 prize. So all that to say, 3 people were on Watch Happens Live last night, and Andy asked, like, what do you think is going to happen with you and Dorit? The audience, they did a vote, was like 90% they're not getting back together, and Dorit was like, I don't really know, and Gabby was like, isn't it up to you? She was like, no, actually, like if I just said I want to get back together, like that wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, she said that in the episode that he's in control, which is like
The worst spot to be in.
a bad place to be in. But as I watch their conversation, I hope they stay together. And if I were Dorit, I would want to stay together. It's just too much upheaval. They have small children. Their finances are who knows. And like, I think it would just be so messy if they split up. And they do like each other. And I hope that they can put in the work and get back together. I know that like some people would be like, well, the love is gone. Like that's so unromantic. But like, I don't know. I think what they have in their life at this stage with their kids and their home, like, is worth salvaging. Also, he's like not even home all the time because he's always traveling. That was her issue with him. So like, maybe they could get back together. They don't see each other that much. They'll make it work. Like, I don't know. I think that's what's better for them as opposed to, I don't know, them splitting up, selling the house, her moving with the kids, switching schools. Like, it's just a nightmare.
All that to say, I don't put that on the same level as Bose and Keely and Mauricio and Kyle's conversation. So boring, I wanted to die. We'll talk about it in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap at the end of the show, TV recap segment, but like, bored.
Yeah, and it was all like a precursor to get to St. Lucia. It's like,
even though I was like living for the trip.
I know, but we barely got the trip.
I know, but just like seeing the digs and stuff, it reminded me of when the Real Housewives of New York went to Turks and Caicos, which is like one of their best trips yet, and they had that villa. Like, it was very pretty. I actually think it'll be a really good trip. I don't know what happens. Like, I'm feeling vibes wise and like the rooms and everything. And I like to see a newbie planning a trip.
Yeah, when they were showing the preview for next week of them on the boat fighting, like it was reminding me of Colombia. It looked very choppy.
Totally.
Yeah, so that's...
Also, I didn't know St. Lucia is the only country in the world named after a woman. Fun fact.
Herstory.
And how, like, Kathy Hilton can't pronounce St. Lucia. It's literally not hard.
What did she say?
Oh, no, it was Jennifer Tilly. She's like, why can't I say it?
St.
Lucie or something.
But it's not for me to judge.
No, those in glass houses.
No. Not for me to judge. Okay, well,
what else do you want to chat about before we dive in?
So Andrew Schultz, I think I watched like half so far because I did try to get to sleep at a reasonable hour.
Who splits up a comedy special?
Well, Zach was going to bed, and I think he wanted me to keep watching so he could watch it. But like, I was like, you know what? We both need to go to sleep. We've not been getting good sleep. The boys have been just like waking up, like they're switching off every night of who's going to wake up. And it was like almost 11, and I was like, okay, that's like a good sign to go to sleep.
Who woke up last night?
Chatty.
Classic Chatty.
Classic Chad.
I'm so obsessed with Chad.
So I'm at the part, what's he up to? They're about to do IVF. He's like explaining that process. And so many things made me laugh, and it was actually like different stuff than what you said, but maybe because like when he was saying how he used to be so scared of like getting everyone pregnant that like when he would jerk off in the toilet bowl, he'd flush twice and wipe it down with Windex because he was scared that when his mom took a dump, it would splash back up into
and get her pregnant.
Her sperm and get her pregnant, and then he'd have a son and brother.
Hilarious.
Crying, laughing.
Yeah, that was really funny too. I can't recap a part of a special with you. Like, that's so crazy to watch half. We have to talk about it tomorrow when you finish it.
Oh, and by the way, like the way that you framed it made it seem like you didn't know that how it goes when he has IVF, and like when you have the picture at the end, the video montage, that like it's a shock that like he has a child, but like he talks about his child the entire time.
I didn't say that. I knew he had a child, and I knew that IVF worked. I didn't know if it was this round of IVF that worked.
Okay, the way I heard it yesterday, which I obviously misheard, was that
you did.
He's
you did,
telling the process, and I thought maybe he even hadn't shared yet that he has a kid, and that was
how
the world knew. It was a big shock.
He did. Yeah. Okay, so it's fine. You misheard. It's not a big deal. It happens all the time.
No, but I really was enjoying it. It's really quality comedy.
Yeah.
They don't make them like that anymore.
I'm so glad you like it.
So many funny jokes like about the Jews that were like not
Lots
offensive.
of Jewish. Jackie, I completely agree. I thought the Jewish jokes were so funny.
Yeah.
And not offensive. Agreed.
He's not a Jew, is he?
No, but like with a name like Andrew Schultz, every time I find out he's not Jewish, I'm shocked. I'm like, Andrew Schultz, I went to camp with Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's not. Confirmed?
No. Confirmed.
Interesting.
He also doesn't look Jewish. It's just his name.
Yeah. It's also his like brand. his vibe is not
You think?
Jewish. Is not Jewish.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So that was fun. You want to get into the stories? We actually have a lot to talk about today, about like a lot of random corners of the entertainment world. So
Hit it.
without further ado, it's the Fast 5 stories you need to know. You do.
And the Fast 5 stories you need to know are brought to you by Quince. Who doesn't love the good things in life? We enjoy a little luxury every now and then, but you don't always want to be splurging. First of all, who can afford that? Who has space for it? And until you discover Quince, like, you're going to realize, actually, you can splurge all the time. Quince is our go-to for luxury essentials, but at an affordable price. So Quince offers a range of high-quality items at prices within reach, like 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters from just $50, washable silk tops and dresses, organic cotton sweaters, and 14-karat gold jewelry. The best part is that all the items from Quince are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands, and they do that by partnering directly with top factories. They're cutting out the cost of the middleman and then passing the savings on to the customer, and that's how they stay super competitive. Like, you're going to find items that are the same quality as like really high-end designer brands, but you're going to be spending so much less on them. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I actually went to a Shabbat dinner wearing like a cashmere dress that I bought at a department store, and there was a girl there wearing the almost exact same dress, and I was like, oh my God, where'd you get it? And she was like, Quince. I was like, oh, so you paid 50 to 80% less, and I'm the big dope who shopped at the department store. I'm a fool. I had nothing to wear. It was like a last minute purchase. Well, give yourself the luxury that you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/toast for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/toast to get that free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/toast, QUINCE.com/toast. Today's episode is also brought to you by Purely Elizabeth. Purely Elizabeth makes delicious granolas, oatmeal, cereals, intentionally crafted with superfood ingredients like ancient grains, nuts, and seeds. I feel like the older we get, like, we're all going back to basics when it comes to breakfast, and like granola, oatmeal, cereal.
We're so
for
granola.
you, but also for your kids. Like, I feel like that's how a lot of people get into it. And then you realize, like, a lot of the ones that are sold in stores are like literally not good for you.
Might as well have sugary cereal.
1,000%. So Purely Elizabeth is
Purely Elizabeth.
correct. She creates obsession-worthy foods full of better-for-you ingredients and culinary taste. So her delicious granola with crunchy clusters, her ancient grains, and superfoods help make good choices easier. The founder, Elizabeth, is a certified holistic nutritional counselor and health coach, and all of her products are nothing short of delicious. We love that they're made with ancient grains, superfood seeds, and contain no artificial flavors. All their products are certified gluten-free, and they have plenty of non-GMO, vegan, and keto-friendly options. They have a ton of granola flavors to choose from, like chocolate sea salt, blueberry hemp, vanilla almond butter, and my personal favorite, the original ancient grain granola.
I got the cookie granola. It was the best thing I've ever had in my life. I actually don't think I can buy it again because I ate too much too fast.
It's certified
so
USDA, organic, gluten-free, vegan, non-GMO, project verified, delicious crunchy clusters with a unique sweet and salty taste. It's good for you, good for your family. You can feel good feeding it to your family, but also feel good because you're eating good. Visit purelyelizabeth.com. Use our code TOAST. We have a discount at checkout for 20% off. That's Purely Elizabeth, spelled the total normal way, purelyelizabeth.com. Our code is TOAST. Purely Elizabeth. Taste the obsession.
Thank you, Purely Coach.
It's been a pure pleasure.
Our first story is something that we sort of manifested, or maybe I just like wouldn't have looked at this headline if we hadn't spoken about it earlier in the week. Who knows? Okay. But Sydney Sweeney, trouble in paradise with her mans. She has extended her hotel stay without her fiance. So listen to the deets.
How the fuck do they know this?
Listen to the deets. Sydney Sweeney has made herself comfortable at a swanky hotel, but she wasn't living the good life with her fiance. This from TMZ. He was not with her, and it's raising concerns about their relationship. Sources familiar with the situation tell TMZ that Sydney had been staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel since around mid-February, and her fiance has not been part of the extended stay. Now she's in Paris for Fashion Week, and it appears that he isn't there either. Sources say Sydney has been seen around the Beverly Hills Hotel with a couple of girlfriends and a bodyguard. Also told that Sydney and her besties had several meals at the hotel's famed Polo Lounge. They also spent a lot of time at the bar. Sydney even had lunch over the weekend with Lauren Sanchez at the pool. Just an interesting fact as part of the story. Yeah.
Let's get to that in a minute. Okay, just sidebar with the Lauren Sanchez thing.
Sydney looks like she has a couple girlfriends with her in Paris, so it's unclear if it's the same girlfriends from the extended hotel stay. The situation is pretty interesting, says TMZ. As they first reported, Sydney and Jonathan recently postponed their May wedding, blaming the delay on their busy schedules. Sydney's extended stay without Jonathan has folks at the hotel buzzing about whether they're broken up, and on its face, it doesn't sound like a stretch.
Yeah, although I do think everything you just told me, like, could be explained away in one manner or
maybe she's
another.
renovating her house.
Right. And I do think that, like, just to be devil's advocate, like, if your marital home, let's say they share a house together, you're broken up or whatever, and you're a celebrity like that, like, you can get another house relatively quickly. You don't need to stay at a hotel. It's
Also,
not
like,
like,
he would
Tom
move
Scavo
out.
renting a
He
condo.
would move out.
Let's be real. Like, who's paying for the house?
I don't know. He's a restaurateur.
So am I, like.
Yeah, it could mean a lot of things. But I'm going to operate under the premise that he has money. Otherwise, like, what's going on?
Otherwise, like, seriously, what's the point?
Yeah, like you said, he's ugly. He's older.
I didn't say ugly.
You said he's
I just said
fucking ugly.
That's not what I said, to be clear. I think I said, like.
You said Tom Ackerley is handsome, which left space for the fact that this guy is not, even though
I definitely
think this guy is fine.
made an implication, like an inference, but I didn't say it.
You inferred that he's uggo.
That's how you interpreted it. And I'm not going to step on your toes of interpretation.
But I want to say I think that he's nice looking.
I didn't say that he wasn't.
But I do think he has money.
Well, I hope so. So I do think it can all be, like, explained away, but I also think there's something going on here.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially the wedding postponement in tandem.
With all
like,
of
how are
this.
you engaged to someone and you don't spend any time with them? That's so Hollywood, though. Like,
I
do
know.
these
It's
people even
like,
know each other? Like, these people who are in relationships. That's why it's like, okay, Dorit and PK, like, just stay together, whatever. You're not going to see each other.
well, Dorit and PK are different. Like, they're a family. Like, but I know what you mean. Like,
They're
some of these.
family.
Like a giant tree reaching up towards the sky. Great musical reference. Thank you for bringing that back into my life. Probably one of the worst songs from the Dreamgirls soundtrack, but I don't want to get into that.
No.
Yes.
There's like some actual like.
What's the
skips.
worst song from the Dreamgirls? No, that's a skip.
No.
It's like also this really lame emo
I
like
know,
part of the
everyone's
movie, and everybody's
in
like
their
crying.
feels.
And it's just like, get me back to
Get
Beyonce
back to
and
work.
Jennifer Hudson. Yeah. And get me back to the Showgirls, the Dreamgirls. I need to watch Dreamgirls. It's been far too long.
I would say like one of like Jamie Foxx's solo songs would be it's very like Sharon.
Okay, but at least Jamie Foxx is famous. The guy who's singing "We Are a Family" like a giant tree, he's like that manager guy who gets like sidelined by Jamie Foxx, right? He's like such a loser.
What's it called?
We are a family.
Why isn't it called
like
We Are a
giant
Family?
tree? It's also just like a poorly written song. I think a lot of the music from that
Family. And it's, by the way,
Family.
sung by the whole, like everyone. Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Hudson, Beyonce.
No, but it starts with that big
Keith
weenie
Robinson?
guy. Is that like the weenie guy who's like their original like brother / manager? I think he's someone's brother.
Keith Robinson.
I need to watch the movie again.
Dreamgirls. Who does he play? I feel like this is it, but I
For sure.
just need to know who he freaking plays.
Freaking place. I actually hate the word freaking.
I don't know. The actual F word seemed extreme in this situation.
I agree.
Okay, they're not making it easy for me to find out. It shall remain a mystery.
All that to say, it's definitely up there as one of the worst songs on the soundtrack. I stand by what I said.
Okay.
Back to Sydney Sweeney. For me, there's no love lost if this is true. I'm not going to like celebrate, obviously. I want her to be happy. It's sad to see a relationship end, but it definitely has potential for her and Brendan Sklenar. And I was really happy to see after, I think it was on Monday's episode, where I brought up my little gripe with Brendan Sklenar, which felt like kind of niche to me. I don't know why. I was not the only one. The comments were like, the feedback was really overwhelming. People are, and whether you're Team Justin or Team Blake, people are also finding Brendan Sklenar to be really annoying and wishy-washy. And I'm glad I'm not the only one who felt that way.
You know what it might be? It might be that like Sydney and the studio want to sow doubt in people's minds about her relationship so that they can ship her and Brendan for the betterment
For the
of
housemaid.
their new movie. And she's and it's like, okay, sure, I'll live at the Beverly Hills Hotel, like for the movie, for the bit.
Studio's paying. Can I bring my bitches?
Lauren's coming for lunch. What's that about?
Okay, yeah. I mean, the depths that Lauren Sanchez goes when it comes to like social climbing and just like networking, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Like, I think social climbing is a grossly underrated skill. They never cease to amaze me, Like when you think about who comes on her and Jeff's boat, like, so Sydney Sweeney, why not? It's just only a little shocking because so far she's pretty much kept with celebrities in her own age demographic.
Yeah, like what
And
could
Sydney's much younger.
Sweeney do for Lauren Sanchez?
I think the better question is, what can Lauren Sanchez do for Sydney Sweeney?
What can she do?
Oh, wait, I
She
know.
could send her to space.
I know. The Housemaid is an Amazon MGM studio production.
Maybe Lauren is working on the movie. Maybe she has...
Oh, 1000%. I could see her being like
Producer.
wanting to get into production. So Joe, what's his name? Jeff throws her a bone. Like, here, produce this random movie I'm making.
Or it's like Lauren likes to read girly swirly books and Jeff's like, what should we make into a movie? And she said The Housemaid, which was a good call.
Even though, like, in the breadth of the Amazon's like brands, them owning MGM Studios or like their partnership with MGM Studios, they make a lot of movies, like, is a huge part of it. But I don't think Jeff Bezos has anything to do with that. Having said that, if his girlfriend wanted a job in movies, like that's the department he would call.
Yeah, but also Frida McFadden is a Kindle Unlimited author. So The Housemaid is like a book that only sits on Kindle and Amazon. That's like a big 360 partnership.
It is, but again, like in the breadth of things that Jeff Bezos has his hands in, like Kindle Unlimited is not relevant to his, like I'm sure he doesn't even know what Kindle Unlimited is. No. I know he knows that they make a Kindle. I know he knows that.
I'm sure he reads books on Kindle, don't you think?
Yeah, but I don't think he subscribes to Kindle Unlimited. You think he's reading like swirly porn?
I think he gets a free subscription.
Actually, I feel like he reads physical books.
How could he? He's invented the Kindle.
True. He like destroyed the industry.
But then he also brought it back because he did Amazon. Like Amazon is books.
Yeah, and then now they have Amazon bookstores, which just seems so backwards to me.
Yeah, and Barnes & Noble is coming back thanks to TikTok.
Obsessed.
So that we should make a list of TikTok pros and cons. And one pro
I mean, we would be here all day.
Is the con list would be rather long, but the revival of the book industry has been a lovely byproduct.
Pro for TikTok. Another byproduct is lots of stay-at-home moms like earning income.
Yes.
As creators. That's all social media, but TikTok specifically has like a really big niche.
Yes.
I would say the giggles. That's a huge. The amount that I chuckle. That's huge.
The direct con is the amount of time that you spend.
Of course, we're not going into cons. We know them.
Okay.
You know they are. They're
Osama.
Of course, Osama. That definitely comes to mind when you think of cons. But pros, I think those three for now are good.
Okay, it's something.
And I do
also that we have met some new audience members. Yeah.
Yeah, we do pick up a couple stragglers on TikTok. A lot of like, a lot of youth.
A lot of youth.
And I just want to say to our youthful listeners, while I love you, you're welcome here, of course.
She's no longer focused on you.
I'm so not. This show was like actually really not for you. It's for the boomers. And the boomers have been showing themselves and I love you. And I need to start like speaking more directly to our boomer community.
I love this pivot for you.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's like at chasing Gen Z. Go chase Gen Z. They're seriously like, they're not my problem anymore. The more I think about it, like this show is really not for them. We're kind of sophisticated.
We are kind of sophisticated. We're an acquired taste.
Correct. You don't like us, acquire some taste. Ramona Singer slayed the house down boots when she made that her tagline. There are so many taglines that like over the years fall flat. They don't age well. They weren't funny. They were weird. But there are a couple. And that is one of them. I would say that's one of the best ever. I'm an acquired taste. You don't like me? Acquire some taste. Like, it's funny. It's to the point. And she really is an acquired taste. Like, some people really don't like her.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's Jackie Goldschneider top quality fabric will be the number one forever just because of how much we use it in everyday life.
And one that I actually use all the time that was really appropriate for the woman, but also sometimes like you just need to say it. There's two. The first is you either love me or hate me. There is no in between with me. Danielle Staub, season 1, Real Housewives of New Jersey. Like she was, by the way, nobody was ever like ambivalent about Danielle. Like she really was.
Was there ever a lot of love?
Jacqueline Larita like couldn't quit Danielle Staub. Yeah, there was love for her.
Okay.
And then her weird boyfriend with the long hair who like
Danny.
showed up with his goons at the country club. Danny, yeah. Thank you. And then another one that I just find myself quoting all the time is, and it's not relevant to me or my lifestyle or even the person who said it. Like, I don't know what she was talking about, but I worked too hard for this zip code to go home now.
Oof, desperate.
Desperate. But it, like whenever I like work hard at something,
Taylor
I'm like,
Armstrong.
I worked. No, that was Kyle Richards. Oh, wait.
No.
Yes, it was Kyle Richards.
She didn't work hard for the zip code. She was born in it. It's Taylor Armstrong in a plea of desperation.
Oh, then it's like a little bit darker.
Of course.
I worked too hard for this zip code to go home now.
Kyle doesn't have to say that.
You're right.
So yeah, that kind of changes things.
That's not as fun.
Certainly not.
But I feel like the joke is that Kyle's always talking about her zip code.
Yeah. It just happens that there was zip code crossover, but Kyle would never have to say that she didn't work hard for the zip code. She was born there. Her whole family's there. She even if she left, she's still there. You could take the girl out of the 90210, but you can't take the 90210 out of the girl.
I don't know why. I just want to triple check.
Go ahead. You need to hear it from Taylor's mouth.
Yeah, it's Taylor. Kyle's that season was, I'm born and raised in Beverly Hills. This is my town. Sure.
Can I say the same thing twice?
Totally. So wishing Sydney Sweeney the best, and hopefully this is true.
Yeah. Our next story is some influencer cocktail news. Alix, Earle, and Kygo are leading a $3 million investment in up-and-coming canned cocktail Margarita brand. So Alix Earle has been teasing like a new big thing that she's doing, and she had said on her Instagram that she's getting involved with a canned cocktail company, a brand that like wasn't doing well, but her and her friends like actually tried it and loved the taste and it's their favorite. So she got involved. And it also is now clear that a lot of other big celebrities have gotten involved in like reviving this brand and investing. It's called Sip Margs and it's canned margaritas.
Yeah, I asked Ben about it.
What did Ben say?
He had heard of it. And I actually think like she was going to enter the alcohol space in some way. And so her picking up like a defunct brand that already has like all the infrastructure, she doesn't have to start from scratch, is much smarter. It's less work for her. And like it's half the work is already done there. Just it was a flop. You know, it wasn't a bad product, but they didn't have good momentum. So for them to just sort of pick up, it's actually very smart.
But also it has a lot of like strategic backers. So it's not just like Alix Earle on her own with $3 million.
No, it's the Palm Tree guys who do those festivals.
That's Kygo. Also, Michael Rubin, July 4th boy.
Yep. July 4th boy.
Investor. Aoki Labs by Steve Aoki. Former executive chairman of Founders Brewing, John Green. And anti-fun boxer and influencer, Jake Ventures capital firm. Okay, so that's still John Green.
But it's like a lot of big people in the partying space, DJs, festivals. Like this is sort of guaranteed to work just given who's invested in it, how many events they throw.
People with success under their belts who know success.
It is interesting, though, that there are a lot of like big names a part of it, but it's being branded as like Alix's thing. It's like they all invested in the idea of her being the face.
Yeah, that's very smart.
Yeah, it is. Even though they're all celebrities themselves, I'm sure Aoki could have had like a canned cocktail. Aoki cans, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You cans. If I were to launch a new canned cocktail company, as you guys know, I already have one. It's called Spirit Society. It would be called "Your Cans Look Sick."
You should talk to Bren about a rebrand, or maybe you get like a diffusion line.
The idea would only be, the rebrand would only be contingent on Mercedes Javid and her husband Tommy wanting to be on board because they are the direct inspiration.
So
and
they would be your Alix Earle.
Yes, and then we would have a flavor that's like, has like hints of mahogany, and it would be called...
You look like piece of wood?
You look like piece of wood. Now, if you don't watch Shines of Sunset, you have no idea what I'm talking about, and you're really missing out.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Also, Alix Earle posted today an interview that's coming up on her podcast, and she doesn't say who it is, but the commenters seem to have sussed it out because she's like talking to someone who looks very serious, almost like Diary of a CEO, and she's like, I admire you so much as a female entrepreneur, and you always speak your mind. People are saying it's Bethany.
Oh, for sure.
For sure, which would explain a lot, and we'll finally get clarity on Dinnergate.
Oh my God, I'm like literally dumb because I saw the clip and then I was like, oh, the comments definitely have it figured out. And they're like, oh, it's definitely Beth. Beth, everybody's calling her Beth.
You're lying.
And I'm like, who the fuck is Beth? And and so I immediately became disinterested. I'm like, why is Jackie bringing this up? Like Alix's weird friend Beth, who cares? Like I thought she had like a home friend named Beth. And now it's making a lot more sense. It's also interesting how this is her first episode drop, I think, since leaving or dropped or whatever. And it looks totally different. She appears to be like in a professional studio.
Diary of a CEO.
Yeah, she had been doing all of it in her house.
Yeah, I feel like there's like different iterations of her. Like she has some sister episodes, some like vloggy episodes, and now some sit down serious episodes.
Some Braxton episodes.
Brax.
He's an investor in this project. His name was on the thing.
His name was on the thing, and she's like kicking a golf ball off of his mouth in the videos.
Cute. I thought the creative was she's very pretty, and everything she does is like cute, and the outfits were great. And Braxton and the girlies on the golf course, like it was really cute.
Yeah, really, really cute. And them being in business together like bodes well for the health of their relationship, because you're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like you're going like 9 to 5 every day. You have to like see him if it doesn't work out.
Right at the water cooler.
Just at like the board meetings.
She makes more money than him, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because we know now, like for this year, he's getting $2 million, which is obviously a lot. But for Alix, I think she probably makes $2 million in a month.
Yeah, she definitely could.
So it's cool. You love to see that.
Yeah, but that's why I think they really love each other.
I would love her too. Like.
Yeah, but you know.
No, I really think sorry, that was like shady and I didn't mean to say. They are, I think, like the real deal in terms of like love.
Yeah, I think so. They seem like really happy together.
And now they're business partners. We'll see how that works.
So yeah, this is cool. Good luck.
GL.
To sip Margs.
Yes.
Next story, a little controversy. Seriously, this movie, Snow White, is like such a curse. So
what is the controversy now? I didn't even hear about it. I've actually, I have it blocked from my brain. Like, I'm not interested.
They've been like hush hush, and now Disney is scaling back the Snow White Hollywood premiere amid all the controversies. So Snow White is set to come out on March 21st. Disney is hosting a Hollywood premiere of Snow White on March 15th, but the studio won't be rolling out the red carpet like it usually does. The afternoon festivities will include a pre-party and a screening at the El Capitan Theater with Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. However, the red carpet will not include dozens of media outlets usually invited by Disney to interview the cast and creatives at its premieres. Instead, coverage will be limited to photographers and a house crew. The studio did not comment for this story, but the scaled back plans come amid controversies surrounding the film.
Which controversy do you think is most directly affecting the film? Is it the little person erasure? Is it Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler clearly not liking each other, and every time Rachel Zegler does something to promote the film, she goes on Twitter afterwards to say Free Palestine because she's working with an Israeli Jew? Which part of it, which scandal do you think is affecting it the most?
I do think the war is the most recent one, because I do think they've rode the waves of the Peter Dinklage stuff. Mm-hmm. Rachel Zegler has constantly...
Was Peter Dinklage pro casting little people as dwarfs or no?
He was not pro having dwarfs, but then it was if you take them out, then there's
no work in Hollywood
people who aren't getting a job. But I think it was the portrayal of them being these caricatures,
mythical,
and stereotypical bad traits and not nuanced people.
Okay.
You
know,
see that. But I think it's been very difficult for them. And then they did the trailer, and you can see that the dwarves, if they're calling them that, I'm not sure, are back.
But they're CGI.
So 7 little people didn't get a job?
Correct.
Wrong. That's the wrong
Like
call.
I said, little person erasure.
Little person erasure. Then Rachel Zegler's aside from, Gal Gadot and invalidating her as a person all the time, she's constantly saying stuff and then having to go and apologize for it.
Yeah, but she was talking about the stereotype of Disney princesses being princesses, damsel in distress. She's not a damsel in distress. It's a Disney movie. Shut up. It is.
She's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she could be.
Pass.
I can't believe this movie, after everything, is still coming out. This should have been, you weren't here on Friday, but Powerpuff Girls CW reboot was canceled, but the trailer leaked. Claudia, it was seriously
I can't believe this movie hasn't even come out yet. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I can't believe it's
We've
coming
been talking
out
about it for
week.
years.
I feel like it was just always at Christmas, and it'll get buried with Christmas movies. But it's literally coming out next week. They're not even doing a proper premiere because everyone is just so messy. And no one can be around Gal Gadot, who's an actual queen and a beacon of morality. And
no, she's such a queen.
She's such a queen. And the fact that they had to present together at the Oscars, that little shit Rachel, I just can't believe that they're still going forward with all of this. And now they're also scaling back. Because it's if you're going to do it, do it.
It's just, this is not my circus, not my monkeys. I didn't ask for this movie. I didn't ask for Rachel Zegler. I don't care. And Snow White is also not a film, a Disney film that I have a fond relationship with. When I heard, some of the music that's coming out, I'm like, I don't know these songs. Most Disney movies, like Little Mermaid just came out, I know every word.
Yeah.
I know Hi Ho, It's Off to Work We Go. I'm sure they took that song out too because it was about the little people. So this isn't a movie like I particularly give a shit about in terms of the story.
Well, I do love a live action remake, and in any other time with any other lead actress, I'd be sat. And I can't decide if I want to watch it to support Gal Gadot or if I want to not watch it to boycott Rachel Zegler.
I know. It's kind of...
It's tough.
We're kind of at a crossroads.
So it's like, is everybody going to watch it because everybody might feel seen? Like you have two sides of the coin. There's someone for everyone, no matter what you believe.
It's kind of like, it's very egalitarian.
Or is there someone for everyone to boycott so no one's watching it?
Right. That's when, like, with the war, like, nobody wanted to, they were boycotting Starbucks on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was also, like, I think more confusion. Like, people didn't know, like, what they were boycotting.
Yeah.
And, like, nobody really knew what Starbucks' stance was.
Yeah. And I don't think they had one. They just make coffee, you know?
Yeah, but I think that they sometimes make coffee in Israel. Was that the problem?
They don't make coffee in Israel. That's the thing. Like for years, like they refuse. There's not one single standing Starbucks in Israel. That's why the popular coffee brand Aroma, which is actually coming to the US slowly, started as like a replacement for Starbucks in Israel. So they have like, if you've been following for years, like, you know, like Starbucks like doesn't fuck with Israel. Then all of a sudden during the war, it's like Starbucks is pro-Israel. So the Palestinian side started boycotting Starbucks and we're like, no, they're not. There was like one employee who wore a pin and they were like, can you not?
Yeah. No, but other employees wore other pins.
Yeah, it was a self-expression thing. It wasn't an official Starbucks communication memo sent out.
Yeah, that was like McDonald's too.
Correct.
But McDonald's is in Israel.
Actually was just looking through my time hop and I saw this picture of me and Ben eating McDonald's in Israel. It's like so much better.
Well, it's also kosher.
Yeah, but like the offerings, it's not the same menu. Like you can get a schnitzel. Like it's so good.
Yeah, that's like McDonald's Paris. Croissant?
Yeah. Yeah, where else? I had McDonald's in Portugal. Very similar. Like it wasn't
this
a
one?
fancy menu. Yeah.
Oh, sad that they
Which
didn't
was, no, it was good. It was good.
They didn't have Portuguese.
No.
Mickey's.
No, Portugueses.
Portuguese Mickey's.
Oh.
Are you ready for our next story?
If it's our next story that's brought to you by Manscaped, perchance.
It actually is, because this is about a man.
Did he escape?
No, but he probably uses Manscaped. He wouldn't admit it, but he definitely does.
It's spring break season. Also, remind me after this, I have to tell you something.
Publicly or privately?
Publicly. It's spring breaks publicly. It's spring break season, which means we're hitting the beach, road tripping with your friends, hopping on a flight to paradise. And if you have a man in your life, you know that springtime means shave time. And it's time to ditch the winter scruff, and that's where the Handyman Rocket Special Edition from Manscaped comes in. It's a sleek, portable face shaver. It's built for on-the-go freshness, making it the perfect travel companion for all spring break adventurers. There's no more showing up to pool parties or late-night beach bonfires with scruff you don't want to see. The Handyman will have him covered. There are limited quantities available of the Handyman Rocket Man, so you need to act fast. And of course, you can still use our code TOAST for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. So again, this product it's new. It's really popular because it's so easy to travel with. It's compact, it's cordless, it's airplane friendly, and it'll slip right into any carry-on. It's also waterproof and mess-free, so you can shave, rinse on the go. There's no stress about cleaning up. Just smooth results. They have the dual blade system, which handles up to 3 days of beard growth with a foil shaver and built-in trimmer. And it has long-lasting power, so it has up to 60 minutes of runtime. Your man will not be left half-shaved before a big night out. And they have limited edition Rocket Man colorways, so the gold and black never looked so good. It won't be around forever, so get it before it's gone. Gift your man the Handyman Rocket Man today and use code TOAST for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with our code TOAST at manscaped.com. Or if you need it today, you can find Manscaped at a store near you. Don't miss out. Upgrade your grooming game with Manscaped today. Today's episode is also brought to you by Beam. So if you're struggling to find a way to get your kids healthier and get all the vitamins and minerals that they need, we need to tell you about Beam. There hasn't been a single product that brought all these things in a way that you could trust until today, because kids' vitamins are always lacking something. They don't know everything that they need, and that's why we're excited to introduce you to Beam Kids All-in-One Super Powder. It just launched, and you need to get your hands on it today. It has more than 40 essential ingredients to fuel healthy growth. That includes greens, pre- and probiotics, fruits, and vitamins, and what's even better is that it comes in a chocolate milk flavor that kids will love. The best part is that it's pediatrician formulated, so you know you can trust it. It was also co-created by Olympic gold medalist and mom Shawn Johnson. Beam Kids has 87.5 less sugar than the most common low sugar gummies on the market. They have 13 times the vitamins than other common kids supplements. And the best part is that it's pediatrician formulated. So if you're a picky eater and you refuse to eat vegetables, they'll be asking for seconds of the chocolate milk. It's the perfect combination of health for kids and less stress for parents. Simply mix 1 scoop of Beam Kids into 8 ounces of water or milk, shake, stir, and froth, and enjoy. It makes it convenient addition to any meal or drink. And Beam Kids is now available at shopbeam.com/toast. Because you're a listener to our show, you can take advantage of the limited time pricing of up to 35% off, plus 2 free gifts when you use code TOAST. Get your Beam Kids and your free gifts by heading over to shopbeam.com/toast. Enter code TOAST. That's shopbeam, shopbeam.com/toast. Use our code TOAST for up to 35% off.
Thank you, Kurt.
Okay, so the thing I wanted to tell you, because this thing, the Manscaped ad about spring break reminded me. So unfortunately, because I became like a powerful voice against Bonnie Blue, I'm now constantly
Bonnie
berated
Blue
with her
in Cancun?
content. Yeah, she's on spring break in Cancun. I don't know if you saw, they're like sucking tequila out of her ass.
I did see.
like why?
Spring break, baby. With Bonnie Blue. Does it get any better than that?
It does, actually.
It gets much
It
better.
really, guys, it gets better. Hashtag it gets better. So I just wanted to update you guys. Like, I officially know, like, I know what Bonnie Blue is up to now, like, for the foreseeable
Me too.
future.
Did you see that she bought like a $500,000 car?
I did see that she bought a $500,000 car, and I saw the funniest tweet about it. It was like,
Would you let 1,000 men take it for a ride?
yes, how did you see that? I mean, we have the same, maybe it's because we like share Facebook.
Oh, it's because we share Facebook.
We share like all social media.
Which is then like connected to our Instagrams.
Right, Instagram, everything.
It actually makes it helpful for like knowing that we saw the same things.
It does. And I thought it was a great, very poignant question to ask. Bonnie Blue, you spent $500,000 on a car. It's your most prized possession. Would you let 1,000 men take it for a drive?
No, because it's too precious to her.
Most like, correct.
Unlike her own body.
Pussy.
Body. Yada yada.
Correct.
Our next story, Zach Bryan has a new girlfriend and goes Instagram official with her. Her name is Hannah Duncan, and he has posted her on his Instagram stories. So
He posted her thigh gap. Like, that's all I saw.
Zach Bryan went Instagram official. They were also like spotted together, like photographed in Australia.
Yes.
So like you knew he was seeing someone, but for him to post her on his story is another step. Zach Bryan went Instagram official with his new flame, Hannah Duncan, less than 5 months after his messy breakup with Brianna Chickenfry, which we have spoken about ad nauseum. So it's that Zach Bryan, if you haven't been following. Not Luke Bryan. Not
I don't think, not Luke Combs, not Zach Chickenfry Brown Band.
not Zach Brown Band.
No. Even though he has like a lot of relationship drama with his divorce.
One day at a time.
Yeah, one toxic male country star at a time. I mean, it's not shocking that like, we knew he was going to have another girlfriend, right? But it's really crazy and that's what I think Brianna Chickenfry, why she didn't take the money, was like, you know, I didn't know there was anything wrong with him when I got into a relationship. There was no warning signs. And now I feel like everyone who goes into a relationship with him like knows, you know,
Yeah.
you can think that Brianna was lying, whatever, but there is information out there about him now. And so you can go into a relationship with him more informed because there's going to be a power imbalance. He's a rock star and he doesn't date other rock stars. He dates civilians. That's like his thing because he likes to be richer and more powerful. Yeah. So Brianna did everyone who's going to date him a huge service in knowing like there's a seed of doubt. Even if you don't believe everything Brianna said, like, and you're like, Zach Bryan was wronged, you know these things now. So I'm wishing her the best. Hopefully like getting worldwide cancellation, like maybe it changed him, God willing. Like I hope that, I really do, so that this girl doesn't suffer.
Yeah. But I'm sure she's seen what we've all seen and she's going into it, hopefully eyes open. Maybe she thinks she can change him. Who knows what she's thinking, but they are together. I was trying to see how old she is. I do also think that affects.
Plays a factor.
Yeah, but I can't see. So good luck.
That's what's just so crazy about fame, because like this person is objectively like short and ugly. And this model, she's gorgeous. She's like tall, perfect model. He put this picture up that we're talking about on his Instagram, and it's like her he's like standing way behind her and she's like looking out at the ocean. So it's just like a silhouette of her body and you could see the ocean between her legs because that's how skinny her legs are. Like she literally has this like amazing body. And it's just so crazy what like money and fame does, because Zach Bryan is in no like world on the same level looks wise.
Yeah, she's 27 and he's 28.
Okay, good. Frontal
Frontal
lobe.
lobe is there.
Yeah.
Decisions can be made. They also weren't in Australia. They were at an Australian bar in New York City.
Very similar.
And she's Australian.
So they might as well have been in Sydney.
There was a lot of Australia going on in the air.
Yeah. So it was Cody Simpson was there too.
He's always there.
He swam up to the bar.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe, hopefully, he can be a better man.
Like, I genuinely only wish the worst for this person, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you ready for our fifth and final story that will lead into our TV recap, sort of? Because it's a bit of reality TV news because the Valley Season 2 trailer dropped yesterday. And a lot is happening. Like, almost too much to keep up with. Every couple is...
It was a long trailer.
Like, literally every couple could be an entire storyline for another show. Like, on a show like Real Housewives, just Jason and Michelle would be a lead story. He's accusing her...
No, and the big thing is obviously Jackson Brittany, but that wasn't even like the biggest thing from the trailer.
Jason's accusing Michelle of being a hooker for a billionaire, sleeping with him for $1,500 a night. Lala Kent is ripping Jason a new asshole.
Right.
Naya and Danny, who are like the golden couple, like there's some controversy there. Someone said that he's like feeling up girls at the bar. Then someone said that Janet's husband takes his ring off when he goes to the bar. Kristen and Luke are engaged and pregnant, know now. Jax and Brittany are obviously getting divorced. He's an addict. She said that he's been spying on her in the house, set up spyware.
And bringing girls home to the house.
Well, yeah, but they probably like trade off very like Gina Kirschenheiter casita so the kid doesn't have to move. And maybe on his time, he's bringing girls over.
That's insane. The Valley is kind of a perfect combination of like a pre-existing fan base because of Jackson, Brittany, Kristen, Jody. Like there's history there. But everyone they brought on is so desperate to be famous. It has that real je ne sais quoi that the original Vanderpump Rules had. Like these people don't give a fuck and they're willing to really out every element of their personal lives.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even say desperate to be famous because that's the people who still act that way are Jax and Kristen, like
and Brittany,
agents of chaos who will do anything to make the show great. Like because Michelle is like cool as a cucumber, like gives us like nothing, but her life is just inherently interesting. And Jason too, they're kind of like fancy, but like their world is crumbling around them, and there's no way for us to not see that. Danny and Naya have always been like the sweethearts of the show. They have a really, from what we've seen, and maybe next season, like in the trailers, just accusations that are kind of baseless, but they had 3 under 2 because they had a baby and then twins. They really like are supportive of one another. She is just, I think she was like Miss America, or she was a pageant girl, but she's just like sweet to her core. He's like so hardworking. He's a working actor. He's just like so supportive of her. She's breastfeeding every other scene with the twins at her tits and the toddler running around. Like they're just lovely people, it seems, who really love each other. But then we got a couple moments where like, I don't know.
You saw the truth.
There's definitely, no, not truth, but like every couple, no couple is perfect, right? Everyone's going to have the other side of them. Like you saw a little bit of that. Nothing crazy, but like she was just
but real life.
She's very like controlling, like a perfectionist a little bit. And when I think he like got drunk and like said stupid stuff, like nothing offensive, just like genuinely stupid. And she was like so embarrassed that he would like be that way. And it was just awkward. But I think they are as, good as it gets, especially in Hollywood. So we'll see what the drama is. And then Janet, I'm sorry, I don't remember her husband's name. They just had a baby last season. She was pregnant the whole season. So for him to be going out without the wedding ring when she has a baby is crazy. And now Lala's on the show and Sheena's on the show. And we saw Tom Schwartz in the trailer too. He wasn't with Lala, but I'm open.
See, Sheena got invited to Lady Gaga's SNL after party.
Let me tell you that the only real press I've seen about Lady Gaga's new album is all vis-a-vis Sheena Shea.
Queen putting in the work.
Also, we've been accused of like not supporting Lady Gaga's new album, and then like some people were going so far as to say that we don't like the real Lady Gaga because we don't like her when she's like weird, and we only like bland Joanne. Let me tell you, the real Lady Gaga fans know that Mayhem is a work of art, and it takes days to digest. You think I could just listen to it once and tell you how I feel? I've been working my way through it every single day, listening to Mayhem every day, doing the work as a true Lady Gaga fan.
I listened to it front and back yesterday, and it definitely requires, and she was talking about this, I saw a clip of her on Las Culturistas talking about how like she really created a genre of music that she now can recognize like other people, they don't copy, but like we're inspired by, and she can like say that she created it. And it is like she does sort of change the face of music every time she releases music. And so this is just that, because a lot of the songs are very different, right? Like even Abracadabra, which is like a bop, but it's like not English. So it takes like a little bit of rejiggering.
And like of understanding, you know?
Yeah.
I want to listen to it a couple times. See how now, like when I hear a song that I've already heard, I'm like, oh, I like this one. I feel like I've heard it before. And then I'm listening to the lyrics like, you think we could say something about it after one listen? You obviously don't know Lady Gaga. She's very multifaceted.
No, but it is very good.
It's not surface lyrics and it's not surface music.
No.
So I didn't like those criticism. I didn't like
haters.
That was serious hate that we wouldn't be Lady Gaga fans.
I'm really happy for Sheena Shea. I just wanted to say that.
No, her and her best friendship with Lady Gaga.
I love.
Yeah, love.
And actually you can see like Stephanie of Lady Gaga. Like I could see her being like a little bit of a Sheena.
No,
you know?
She's I
like
can't see it at all.
I can.
No, like Sheena is so commercial. Like,
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Stephanie.
No, and Stephanie, like NYU art, like she's like, Sheena would be the girl.
But she's very sweet. Like, and that's the thing. Sheena is deeply misunderstood.
No, like Sheena is the cheerleader and Stephanie like is the artist working on her art. And these two people never the twain shall meet. It's actually shocking.
Yeah. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like I actually don't not enjoy watching it because I really like these women. It makes it really hard to recap, say anything funny or interesting because we're going on like 3 episodes in a row of nothing happening.
Yeah.
Like we're all still talking about the wallet thing that Sutton said because it really was so crazy.
I'm sorry, we're not talking about it enough. Everyone,
I agree.
No one's mentioned it. And when Sutton was crying in
oh
St.
my God.
Lucia, just being like, anybody going to tell Dorit enough that has got like that this is too far or that is too mean? I'm like, what has Dorit has said nothing compared to the wallet thing. Those things need to be said to you.
Sutton is so crazy. She's becoming so unlikable. And so it used to be that like when she would fight with people, I really never agreed with her, but like she really brought other things to the show in terms of like entertainment. And now she's just like kind of a crazy old woman.
Yeah, when she was crying and saying all that in St. Lucia, it just showed such a lack of self-awareness because the only person who's gone below the belt tier is you. And if you guys do have mutual friends, then in that situation, a mutual friend should lean towards defending Dorit because you are more wrong than Dorit. Plus, Dorit is going through a lot, so she does get a little bit of grace. But even without that, like she deserves to be sided with because you have been so, so wrong. And the fact that they're literally like 12-year-olds where they're like, how come she can forgive Kyle so quickly and go back to being friends, but she can't forgive me that quickly? And it's like,
you were never friends with Dorit.
Also, all season, Kyle and Dorit have been very start and stop. Like, we're moving forward and then they can't move forward. They've actually had a hard time getting to a place where they can joke and laugh together again. So it wasn't just like they had one conversation and forgave each other. They had like 4 conversations. Plus, they have a pre-existing friendship that like is worth salvaging.
That's a bad comparison. Sutton and Dorit have never
You've never
gotten
been
along.
a friend to anyone except Garcelle. So there's really
no,
nothing.
And they hang out off camera. Their kids know each other. Their husbands know each other. Like they had a deep friendship in history, which makes like their whole breakup even sadder. But like for you to compare, like that's just you saying words. There's no comparison.
Yeah, and for you to be upset that Dorit has forgiven Kyle faster than she's forgiving you, you're not even asking for forgiveness. You haven't even said sorry.
You're still fighting.
You're still like you said the wallet thing. You didn't say sorry for that. So forgive what? You act like someone who doesn't want a relationship with her, and then you're mad that you can't get your relationship with her back.
I do think it's also becoming increasingly more difficult for Garcelle to like blindly have Sutton's back.
Yeah, but it's also Garcelle is conflicted because of how much Sutton kisses Kyle's ass. That's the issue for Garcelle.
Yes.
It's like, wait, not all the other stuff. Like that's where she's going to turn on her because Sutton like wants Kyle's approval too much. It's like 12-year-olds.
And I love Bose making the comparison. Like, we've all been thinking it, but it's like, everyone's giving me shit for being like Dorit's mouthpiece. Well, what about Sutton's mouthpiece, Garcelle? Hi, hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Like, why is it okay when you do it, but not me?
Yeah, and Bose has been doing it for shorter. Like, we haven't seen Bose yet, like, defend Dorit in something indefensible. Because for me, everything Bose has defended Dorit on is like...
It's logic.
Yeah, and that's your friend. Like, I agree with my friend. That's why we're friends, because we kind of have, like, similar points of view.
I also really like to see Erica getting like more activated in the drama now. Like she really couldn't, she obviously has like some sort of loyalty to Kyle. Like they do have a friendship. So when it was Dorit versus Kyle, she couldn't really get involved. She was being like a little boring mediator, but she fucking hates Sutton. Like she will not forgive Sutton for not letting her off the hook with the lawsuit stuff and making that time in her life so much harder. And so it's like, oh, now we're going after Sutton. I'm in.
Yeah. And I do think that Erica has been like so forgiving, more forgiving than I'd ever expected her to be, maybe even more forgiving than I personally would be. So to know that like grudges are still being held and the North remembers, like that's my Erica. That's the Erica I know. But when she was like saying, when they were talking in her house and about Sutton and Dorit, and then she was like, well, it was okay when she did it to me. It was giving very like, what about me? But then when she explained what they did to her, I was like, yeah.
I'm not at the point yet where like Erica bringing up her thing every time like makes me roll my eyes. When people do that, it is my least favorite thing. But Erica's right.
My eyes were, maybe moved 30 degrees north. And then she explained what they did to her, pills and the drinking and sitting there being like, well, you should figure. And she has to sit there and take and be like, I should figure out my medication and my alcohol. Yeah, let's mention it all.
Yeah, no, I love that she's like now really getting down in there and like Dream Team, Bose, Erica, and Dorit like in the villa upstairs, just obsessed.
Yeah, same. And the rooms worked out really nicely because Kathy and Kyle share, and then of course Sutton and Garcelle and Jennifer. And a couple things, because people are saying like this group is hard to crack, and I felt like one, Kyle and Bose's conversation. I know it was like Kyle was opening up and she was crying, and so we shouldn't like say anything not supportive of that. But it was a little weird to me that like she's been accused of not opening up to Bose. So then the next time she has a one-on-one with Bose, like I'm going to start crying and sharing. Like I just felt like
formulaic.
Yeah, and like not genuine. That's like not how things come about. Like I decide.
That's not how friendships work either.
I'm going to decide today that I'm going to cry to you and I'm going to open. No, it's just like a metamorphosis. And they hadn't gotten there yet. And then Kyle felt like she had been being penalized because she hadn't shared with Bose, so she's like schedules this sit down to cry, and it's just like to
earn points.
Yeah, I felt like she was genuinely sad, and what she was saying was true, but the decision to do it right then and there because she hadn't been accused of opening up, it was just like a little inauthentic, I felt, and that's just like not how those conversations typically come about. So I don't know, but I know you like she was going through it, so that was sad. But then also Jennifer Tilly saying that she hasn't felt like the group has been that she
open to
like
her.
Feels like an outsider, which I could see. It's a hard group to crack. They have so much history and commonalities, and just like husbands are friends and kids are friends and all of that stuff. But I also don't feel like Jennifer Tilly, from what I've seen, has made like a huge effort to really get to know,
share in a real way.
Yeah, she doesn't even show us her house.
No, she just shows us like her purses, which I love.
And I do feel like Erica like always is giving her flowers about how she's so stylish and she's so cool and like, oh my gosh, she's like an old, and I don't know, like, does she pursue that friendship with Erica? They would definitely have a lot in common. I just feel like it's not fair to say that when we haven't seen you like
put forth the effort,
try and like connect on a deeper level either.
I don't even want to give it too much of my brain cells, but the conversation between Mo and Kyle was so awkward.
You know?
Yeah. And she's just waiting for him to bring up the paparazzi pictures. And upon further reflection, I do not think Mauricio had anything to do with the photos. And I do not think it was this like big coordinated thing. Like it was probably the girl being thirsty. But it was interesting how Mauricio did not like Kyle saying that. Like he was feeling kind of defensive of the girl, you know? Like I don't know if that's his girlfriend or just like some hooker. But she was like, I know you didn't, but I don't know if the other person did.
Yeah, and he was like,
well...
No. He could have easily blamed it on her and been like, oh, yeah, I should really vet who I'm seeing better. He was also spotted weird. Like last night with some brunette hooking up.
They're divorced. Like, I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
No, but I'm saying
they're not together. He doesn't live in the house. She had a girlfriend for a year. Like, what the hell are we talking about?
She moved on first.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think that he did something wrong, but that is a hard thing. Not even for Kyle to see because he saw her in a music video kissing a woman. A
million paparazzi pictures of her and Morgan Wade.
For the girls, and because that girl is like the age of his daughters, like that's just always going to be a little weird.
Morgan Wade is really young. I'm sorry, nothing Mauricio did compares to Kyle.
It's true.
I can count literally 100 paparazzi pictures I've seen over the last 2 years of Morgan Wade and Kyle. How many stories there have been, photos of them together that they posted, photos of them taken by paparazzi, the music video. She's a younger girl. Like, please, Mauricio did nothing wrong. Let's say he called the fucking paparazzi on himself. I would support it, okay?
Yeah.
What the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, like otherwise he's just like, what do they say?
Oh, and sorry. And Kyle did all of that while filming 2 seasons of a reality show. Like, please. What's that?
Like when you stand by and watch your wife like having be with someone else. That's what Andrew Schultz, when the OBGYN was like fingering his wife, he was like, I'm just a cuck in the corner.
Yeah, literally. Like, it's so stupid. The attention, everybody's like, Kyle, how are you? Kyle, what the? Mauricio, how are you?
No, and Garcelle making the distinction for the viewers as best as she could that like, oh, we're allowed
She's
to talk
very
about
good at that.
Mo's pictures, but we can't talk about Morgan.
Can't even say her name. Remember the beginning of this season? She said, please don't say her name.
That's why there's much ado about Mo, because that's the thing you could talk about. If there had been much ado about Morgan, we would like, then by the time Mo's out pictures with someone, it's like, oh, good, he's moved on, finally.
To Garcelle's credit, like, she really calls it like it is when it comes to Mauricio, Morgan, and Kyle. Like, she's really the only one who's not being like, Kyle's going through a lot. Like, she's asking questions and being critical, and I appreciate that because it's so frustrating.
Especially because these things are playing out in the public. Like, if there were whispers that Kyle were in a relationship with a woman, we never saw them together, but it's just what the streets were saying. And one of the women brought it up on the show. That would be wrong. Yep. But she goes out and about. She's at the concert. She's flaunting. She's in the music video. You can't help paparazzi, but I'm sorry, a music video. She's bringing her on the show and we can't talk about it. Like, that doesn't work. That's hypocritical.
Yeah, agreed.
So I don't need everyone to bring up the private all the time when there are things. People are entitled to have like buckets of things that they want to keep private. But when you're doing it publicly and you won't do it on the show that you're on, that doesn't work.
Agreed. Tonight is Summer House, so we will be watching that for tomorrow's show, recapping it. Jackie will hopefully finish the latter 50% of Andrew Schultz's special. We'll recap that also.
30% that I have.
Great.
I feel like it's like 30. Yeah, I'm excited for Summer House.
I'm excited for lunch.
Me too. What are you going to have?
I'm not sure.
I feel like I got some leftovers. I think I'm going to make salmon bowls again tonight with the leftovers. Make them work.
That's nice.
Work them hard again.
Make it work well, man.
Yeah, but I also have the ingredients for Crunchwrap in my fridge. But I don't think you have a Crunchwrap. I don't think you have 2 in 2 days. I think it's too much.
I think it's fine.
I think it's
That's our show, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Toast and Monday Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We are also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places where you listen to podcasts. Find us, The Toast. Leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and wickedly talented we are.
The Toast. Love ya. Bye.